that the cats are our meat sack.
No, they are not meat sacks. I am not going to put coins in them, okay? I'm not going to take bottle caps or anything like that and put them into our pets.
So as promised, I'm going to go find the U.S.S. Constitution, where it landed, and see how the crew's doing.
You have to say it correctly. The Constitution.
Yeah.
But yes, so that's...
Which might end up with me getting my ass shot off by people since I haven't been in this area before. Oh well.
Well, first time for everything.
Yep.
And you did just save, so, there's that.
Yeah,
and
keep your head on a swivel.
Someone, Grunt Fodder, just suggested that it's time for the all-milk crate household.
We've been college
a guy,
students.
Back when I was in college, I knew a guy who quite literally zip-tied milk crates together.
Ingenious.
Don't say that. It's one of my ex-boyfriends.
Hey,
I'm hearing an idiot.
I'm hearing he's not.
He's still an idiot.
So I can still give him a little bit of credit. Okay, so the Constitution's on top of this building.
He did date me, so,
there was that. He had impeccable taste in women.
There you go. I guess that's about the only thing I'll give him. So, yeah, he zip-tied. Wait, what was that on the... What was... Oh.
Okay.
Hello, mongrel.
Bad dog.
Bad dog, and there's one in the corner. Suicider.
Shit. I can't spot him.
But apparently he can spot you, because he's ticking.
Hello? Someone there?
I'm just...
Take whatever you can. I'll keep watch.
Good. I love when I love the frustrated yells of the super mutants.
I was like, "Oh, beer!"
Yeah, that's what I was like. Wait, there's also beer on the other counter. I mean, there's beer all over the place. Oh, that's
bottles.
The Commonwealth is ours!
I think they can only... Oh, there he is. He just ran past us. If he's gonna start a fight with somebody else...
Yeah. We'll get the beer. And believe me, we'll take the... But...
More worried about the suicider.
I'm worried about the suicider. Let's... Hancock! Hancock!
You know what, Hancock? Time to take one for the team, buddy. Oh, God. Oh shit!
I do this.
Hello, Hund.
Wow.
Oh, damn it! He destroyed the beer!
He just knocked it over. That is some hardcore beer. And we somehow survived that.
Nope. Nope. Yeah, you know something? I actually had to read that aloud to figure out exactly what I was saying because... Oh, God.
This is kind of hysterical. Oh, a terminal.
Also, there's something in the refrigerator.
Fended. Nope. Close. Can't be melted. Could be indeed. Nope. So there's definitely that ED at the end.
Heat.
Heated?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or it's heated or dubbed.
Oh, man. Or it could be picked. Crap. This is not helping.
Or raised or melted.
Why is it never password? Actually, wait. I
You
think
know, it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
actually, I think one time it actually was
It
password.
was password. Oh, such... Oh, happy day.
Oh, wait. There's one. Dud removed.
Yes, we've... He's actually pretty good at this.
Okay. I'm just trying to find a good thing to give me more guesses.
Do they have to be
Yeah,
like,
they have
right
to be,
next to each other or in the same line?
they have to be in the same line and open and close set.
Well, I knew it had to be an open and closed set.
I don't think there are any more. Well, we're gonna try our luck with dubbed. Nope.
Hancock, what have you been doing?
He is starting all kinds of trouble. Oh, there's a
Just
carrot. Okay, so we can get another try. We just have to wait a few seconds.
And there might also be money next to the...
Yeah, we do know how to remove duds. We just missed the... we didn't have a good number of... Okay, that works. Well, and then we just got on the first try. So... Sweet.
To the right of the terminal.
That's where the safe is.
Or, no, oh no, those are cigarettes. Sorry, it looked like, you know,
Oh, there it
more
is.
money.
Ah! Face me, you coward! Gonna splatter your brain!
These guys are just annoying just because they just won't shut up.
Well, not only that, but they don't show themselves.
Oh, there they are. Oh, wait.
No, they're up.
I think
They're fighting Ironsides.
Well, more for them then.
More the fools they. You are the worst hacker today.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that terminal's lucky you didn't decide to pour, you know, purified water on it, because you certainly wouldn't pour a beer on it.
Damn
That
right.
would be wasteful. And you also didn't create a still.
I couldn't find the way to do that.
You don't have the. You're probably also missing something.
Oh wait, so they're probably
Is that a foodomatic on the wall?
might be. Let's see, busted terminal.
Nope, that was. Anything in the.
Didn't see anything in the shelves. So the super mutants are probably lurking around here somewhere. Probably.
They're probably hanging out by the elevator. Except they're not right here, right now.
Okay, or not. Huh. I might have been unnecessarily paranoid.
You know something? In this game, it's better to be unnecessarily paranoid.
No such thing as unnecessary paranoia.
Actually, it's not even paranoia. Paranoia suggests that it's unnecessary in and of itself. So what you're being reasonably cautious.
Very reasonably cautious. Oh.
Or erring on the side of cautious diligence.
Yep. And now the kitty cuddle fest is over.
Ah, yes.
Hancock like fell through the ceiling to get up here.
Ghouls.
And then he's clipping through the door, but whatever.
Oh, you need to...
Discovered the Constitution, supposedly. I mean,
U.S.S. Constitution.
so this is one hell of a vantage point.
Hey, Ironsides. Sup?
Like I said, I've never actually been up here.
Returns. What a glorious success. True, the mission is not quite complete, but one cannot deny our progress.
You consider this a success?
Hancock
Undoubtedly, sir.
is what you would
I
call
retract
somebody
this
who
rate. We
flaunts
should
the laws of
land in the
physics
ocean
and
in
says,
one,
fuck them.
perhaps 2 more launches. My circuits tremble with excitement.
There's no way this ship will survive another launch.
O ye of little faith, in recognition of your courageous role in this, I hereby promote you to the role of honorary lieutenant. And being that
Lieutenant.
I, well, cannot actually fit below decks, I hereby give you the captain's quarters as well.
Ooh, that was the one with all of the booze.
Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray!
We earned that.
Well, I think you should go and check out your new digs.
And also, we have a new hat.
Oh,
That gives us a charisma bonus.
Lieutenant. Lieutenant. Do I look like a doctor or a lieutenant?
Okay, let's take a look at ourselves in our
I'm
sweet new
sorry.
hat.
Oh.
It doesn't go, but it's awesome.
That. The only way that could be better is if it was worn with the flower to the front.
Yeah.
A left to Nancy. Well, you are to my left.
There we go. But yeah, so now we have a lieutenant's hat. Should we ever need to be extra charming, put that on with a suit, and you will.
Hey, navigator.
I don't think that the Dav and Nancy works because we're sitting on a Davenport.
Technically, I suppose we are. But okay, so in case we ever really need to charm the ladies, we can put on our gray suit with that sweet hat.
And just charm the panties right off of them.
Yep, that would give us an effective charisma of 14.
Which, when you really think about it, might as well be 1,000,000
Yeah.
in this game because
Oh, I think
you're breaking systems.
Yeah, I think they pitched the idea that at most you would probably be around a 10.
As I said, breaking the system.
Yep. Okay, so let's take a look at what we can get from the captain's quarters, because they are now our quarters.
Hey, first mate.
He doesn't have much to say.
He never really does.
Okay, so there's the Protectrons. We talked to the navigator. I wonder if the bosun's running around in here somewhere.
I imagine that he must be.
Patrolling.
I mean, where else would he be? Oh, there he is. Hey, bosun.
Play a part in something so magnificent. I'm programmed to burst with excitement. Huzzah!
Bosun.
So much work to do. I'll have to factor in extra time for the lack of appendages.
He's just so grumpy. But hey, guess what? Oh, wait. We have the captain's quarters, but this is still not marked as ours. So, what the heck is up with that?
Huh.
Weird.
Is there somebody you need to... Maybe you need to talk to the first mate. Try talking to him again.
Oh, wait. I think... no. Everything in here is still owned by the captain, but we can now sleep in the bed.
A Brahmin skull.
It's a trophy. But hey, okay.
From his Brahmin hunting days? Who is he?
Yeah.
Teddy Roosevelt?
It's entirely possible.
I don't know that that's possible, but could be that his profile is based upon...
Yeah, he's programmed to think he's
Well,
or similar to Theodore Roosevelt.
Yes.
Roosevelt. You know, I don't actually know how to pronounce that one. If it's Roosevelt or Roosevelt.
I believe it's Roosevelt. At least that's how everybody typically pronounces it.
I mean, we were actually at the Truman White House in Key West.
Well, it's not a settlement as far as...
Yeah, we don't have to do resources or anything, but we can come here and hang out sometimes. And if we had power armor, we could jump from here and survive.
But since we don't, let's... You know, you should pull that long-distance relationship and see if there's anybody in that church tower.
True.
Because you know something? Why not?
There's a boat. Some of the drawing stuff is getting messed up. Okay. Yeah.
Some of the glitchy water.
You know, I'm trying to think. There was a... I wonder if we could actually see that one quest.
Which one quest?
The one that's underwater. From here.
The submarine?
Mm-hmm. Let's see. There's a boat. There's...
Is that it? Or right there?
Maybe. Oh, well. Okay.
Oh, we'll get there.
So, alright. We have got... So now we're going to go take our buddy Hancock on some shenanigans.
Which shenanigans should we go on, though?
Can't bring Kate anywhere. Can't do that. Excuse me.
You really don't want to do the Freedom Road right now with Hancock.
Oh, excuse me. Okay, well, we can go and try and track down Brett Savoldi. Why not? So where... Okay, I don't want that one.
Huh?
I don't want to go find Virgil in the Glowing Sea.
No, not yet.
Okay, so he's by the Malden Center and Greentop Nursery. Okay.
Oh.
That's easy enough. You know, sometime I'm going to have to come back to this place in power armor and jump off the ship.
Just because.
Well,
Was this
how would
further
you
away from the
not?
Glowing Sea?
Yeah. Yeah, someplace called the Glowing Sea. We're not going there. Not for a while.
Why go there and continue the mainline quest when there's so many more interesting and exciting things you can do in the meantime
True.
that don't include some of the things that you find
In the Glowing Sea.
in the Glowing Sea?
Like, yeah, has anybody ever gone to a place called the Glowing Sea and been like, oh, it's a lovely vacation spot. I would go there again.
Actually, yes. And
Who?
you know them. The Children of Adam.
Oh, yes, those fuckers. I miss the... You know, if anybody's played the Fallout games, like Fallout 3, and I don't know if they made it... I don't remember if they made an appearance in New Vegas, but the Children of Adam used to be like harmless kooks. They would sit there and they would...
They were like your old-timey...
I don't know. They were like cultists and stuff, and they were just
Well,
like, you
they
know,
were-
we worship radiation. It was like, oh, okay.
Well, all right. I guess.
And, but yeah, so it was like, okay, yeah, that is a thing. And, you know, they were just kind of funny and harmless, but the current version of the cult is kind of murderous.
Well, they were kind of like what most people think Scientologists are kind of like. You know, they're those kooky weird guys that...
Yeah, previously they're just the kooky weird guys. You're like, oh, okay, yeah,
Or-
they're weird.
Or I guess if you don't want to use Scientologists, some people might say like the Mormons. Some of the, or not, no, Jehovah's Witnesses.
Okay.
You know, the ones who, they come around and they try to sell you on their religion and everything, and you're like, well, that's nice and everything, you just, you know, go on your way. I've already found my Jesus.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
And, you know, if you're not going to just pretend to not be home.
Yeah, I mean, actually, humorous story about Jehovah's Witnesses. In my hometown, we had one of my classmates who happened
Just the
to be...
one.
Yeah, only the one, because in the small town I grew up in, the majority were some denomination of Christian mainstream. So, you know, I'll be honest, I don't even know that any of them were Baptist, but, like, you know, evangelical, Christian, and, you know, various things like that, but majority was Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
I think there were some Methodists. Anyway. Oh, fuck me, Deathclaw.
Okay. We're going into the sinkhole. We'll deal with him later.
So it seems.
Since he got the jump on us. Assuming he doesn't follow us. Oh. Dead Raider.
Yeah, so one of my classmates grew up Jehovah's Witness. Nothing wrong with it.
Well.
But it got kind of weird when as it happened, as it were, one Saturday afternoon, we're sitting around, and it's, you know, it's a nice balmy spring day, you know, quite nice. And I look out the front window of my parents' house, and I see my classmate and somebody else being dropped off in front of my house.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that Deathclaw is still alive.
So it looks like old Joe Savoldi died in a cave with a bottle of booze and cooking some beans.
Hey, what was the bottle by the cook?
Ooh, wait. I almost missed a Wasteland Survival Guide.
Ooh, nice.
Permanently swim faster. Water aerobics for ghouls.
Oh, that just looks like an empty bottle.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was an empty bottle. Anyway, so your classmate was being dropped off to proselytize in front of your house.
At my house, not in front of my house. She was coming door to door. Now you have to understand, where I grew up in the middle of the damn country. Okay? It was about a good, quarter mile to the nearest neighbor. And, in one direction, and about a half a mile in the other direction, and about 3/4 of a mile in the other two directions. So, this isn't one of those cases of it's going to be easy, and this was before we had cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like they could just easily call up whoever it was who dropped them off.
Yeah. He was in it for the long haul.
Yeah, they were. It was actually a she.
Oh, she was in it for the long haul.
Yeah, they were totally getting into that. And so I think I was about like 13 or 14. It was just before entering high school. About 13, 14 years old. And my God, I looked out the window and I said, "That's my classmate. This is going to get awkward." I looked at my brother. I'm like, "Jay, can you answer the door?" And he's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "It's my classmate who's a Jehovah's Witness, and she's here to proselytize us, I'm sure, because what else could it be? It's not like we invited them over."
They just kind of showed up.
They just kind of showed up, and I was like, "Oh man, this is gonna be all kinds of awkward." So I hid in the corner, around the corner from the entrance of the house, the front entrance, and well, the thing is, okay, you see that this friend, I never said she was my friend. She was just one of my classmates.
Oh, hey,
we weren't close. So, it wasn't a case of I was being an asshole friend. We weren't really friends, and there were bobby pins in that fridge.
Good catch. Nope, rat poison.
Ah. What is rat poison doing in a bobby pin box?
Yeah.
Okay. So my classmate comes to the door, and they knock. And my brother answers. My brother's 6 years older than me. No, 14-year-old Nancy was not an ass. Nancy today is an asshole, and I will, no question about that. A lot of times, I will be an asshole to some people's face.
Yep.
Anyway, so they come up, they knock on the door, my brother answers. So my brother's about 20, he happens to be home for I think it was like during spring break or something like that, and he was working. And he answers the door and he's like, "Hi," and she's a little flustered, but holding it together. And they're like, "Have you heard about the Word of God? Have you heard about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints?" And my brother sat there and looked at them and was like, "Why don't you come in for a beer?" "Sure, come on in. We got time. You can have a beer." And in case you don't know, Jehovah's Witnesses aren't allowed to drink. They're not allowed, and on top of that, she was 14.
Yeah.
And they looked, I managed to look through the window and catch a glimpse. The looks on their faces were, well, akin to somebody suggesting that they murder their own kin.
Yeah.
And I sat there. They made a swift retreat, and I remember just looking at my brother in horror.
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong with you?
What the fuck?
Oh, fuck.
Could use a little practice.
Good news, it can't fit in the door.
Is there any other way for it to get in?
Yeah.
Might be better to go upstairs to try to
Yeah.
take that off. 14-year-olds love when it's... Yeah, you know something? I'm sure that there are 14-year-olds out there who do. They really do. But she was not one of them. And, like, I felt just... Also, that's not Ironsides. That is an integrated
Tank bot.
tank bot.
Aggressive bleep. I love the
I love
subtitles.
that. That's great. But yeah, so, you know, what was really awkward, though, was not the interaction, but the fact that afterward, after it was all said and done, that Monday I had to go into school because it was at the end of the spring break.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to see her because we had a couple classes together. And I just made like I had no idea what the hell had happened. But I totally knew when I was like, oh God.
I'm so sorry.
You know, I never apologized. I never said anything. And I was like, I essentially took, my line was, and we shall never speak of this again.
Okay, I don't know where Hancock is, and I don't know where that tank bot is. Oh, there's Hancock.
Well, there's something, you know.
Sorry about that, Hancock, but
Did you destroy it?
no, it like wandered off somewhere. I think it was like, oh, I can't get to you, and then so it left. Well, all right then.
That's one of those cases where a missile launcher
Yeah,
was the answer.
I've got the missile launcher. I just was not in an opportune place to use it. Oh, there's a Cybermech I bought. Oh, there he is.
Okay, you need to hide. Very hide much. Kneecapper. Hold on until after he passes the maybe it's decent.
Hancock, what the fuck are you doing, buddy?
I never used a missile launcher on a Jehovah's Witness. I mean, heck, I even had Baptist at one point show up on my doorstep trying to proselytize me. I don't know why it's always on like Saturday. It's like, you know, I got a million things to do on a Saturday, and talk to you about Jesus ain't one of them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, you know, I told them everything that they wanted to hear, and they said, oh, it seems that you're already saved, and they wandered off and left me with their, you know, reading material, and I was just sat there and looked at them, I'm like...
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the really awkward thing with Jehovah's Witnesses is if they catch you mid-wank. Although, you know...
This sounds like it's a story that...
you know, I don't know if they...
a personal experience.
No, I don't think they've ever caught me in the middle, but at least...
Caught you, like, you got me red-handed.
Quite literally.
Quite literally. My hand is quite red.
But there's at least a couple of times when I
Let me grab my, you know...
Yeah.
Gin and tonic, because it must cool down.
Looks like they dug in deep here.
Yeah, but where like I saw the Jehovah's Witnesses, and I'm like, oh no, you know, the porn's playing right now, and I really don't want them to walk, you know, to deal with this, and so I pretended extra hard that I wasn't there.
You know, I'm that bad. I've had other groups. I have no idea their denomination or affiliation. Show up, come to my house, and I was just like, you know, and this was when I had my own apartment.
What the hell for Savoldi?
I hid in the corner. I actually hid under the stairs. in my loft apartment. So I used to live in a loft, and there was a closet underneath the stairs. And I look out the peephole, and I see that they're like, you can see their little Bible, and they're holding it, you know, just ready to proselytize the hell out of me. There's a lot of hell in me, and there still is, and that's
Bring me something
fine.
strong and charge it to that one there.
Nice.
Nice, Hancock.
He's got a reputation. But yeah, so
I actually opened the doors, snuck into the closet so that I'm like, they will see no movement, because they were like, they went over to my kitchen window and started, you know, poking around their nose around to try to look inside, and I was like, oh hell no, I'm not doing this.
You have some sort of medical problem?
I'm not doing this.
Not today.
Let me know if that changes.
nice.
Load a little heavy there?
Yeah, it just reminds me of the time when we
You
actually
keep going.
Yeah.
Are you finished?
Yep, I'm finished. But yeah, when we got a phone call from our university trying to solicitate us for money as graduates, and
I'm still paying you motherfuckers back.
And you know, Nancy picked up, and I was in the background. I was like, honey, the sacrificial goat escaped. No, the sacrificial virgin is still there. Wait. No, I got the goat. Don't worry, I got the goat. And just this poor college student who was doing this as a part-time job, sitting there and having to listen to this in the background while she was trying to ask for donations. Yeah, those were good times. So, let's see. I'm not really seeing any more... I was going to try and find the mayor here and see if we can get any more quests, but it doesn't really seem like we've got much in the way of options here. So... Oh, wait, there she is. Hey, Kessler. What's going on?
Hey there.
Market's the white building with all the fancy columns. Always someone doing trading there.
Yeah, okay, she's of no use to us. So, okay, we'll throw in a quick save now since we just did a quest successfully.